Okay. Yeah, keep the sticks rolling. Hey, bitch, I be hunt me and money got tied. She call me steps, but I'm never surprised. I don't know, trust him, they all go for size.
Welcome to another moment of the back three. I'm not alone today. I'm with the homies, guests of the show, and friends of the show. This is Footy Chats with Justin Fox and Liam Lloyd. Like I said, these are friends of the show, and while we're here for all things Man United, Arsenal at the Emirates, or Arsenal versus Man United at the Emirates. I'm Meech ATW, the host of today. As you guys know, I'm a Man United fan, but today I'm going to be the host who's going to try to be as neutral as possible in this chat over here. And these gentlemen are actually wearing their team top, so I'm not going to even say he's a Man United fan, he's an Arsenal fan. You can see it for yourselves. But I just want to ask the gentlemen, why do you support the teams that you support? I'm going to start with Justin, who's over in England. So shout out to England and the watchers and listeners in England. Justin said he was in Basingstoke, right, Justin?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. But so Justin, first, homie, welcome to the show. We're happy to have you here. And just tell us, bro, like, why do you support the Arsenal?
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's good to be on the show. My story goes back to Arsenal. Basically, I grew up with two older brothers, and they were all big football fans in the house. So when I started watching football, my oldest brother's a Liverpool fan. My middle brother's a United fan. So I did not want to be any of those teams. I'm not gonna lie. I started watching football around about 2001, 2002, when I started like actually playing it. And I mean, Arsenal and United were the two best teams at the time. So, I mean, that's kind of why I fell in love with the team. And honestly, my favorite player growing up, I have his shirt on, have his number at the back, Patrick Vieira, the man in the middle. That's kind of what made me fall in love with this team. So, yeah, that's my story, man.
Lovely stuff, Justin. And Justin, bro, so just to be sure, you're saying your all-time favorite Arsenal player is Patrick Vieira, or is it number 14 guy?
Bro, it's so tough, dude. Everyone loves. I mean, listen, bro. I love Thierry Henry. I always will do. But man, Patrick was like the glue in that team. Like he kept it like
The
solid in the
leader.
middle. He was the proper leader, and I always loved him, dude. Especially his fights with like Roy Keane. You just had it was like box office at that time. So it was always like my favorite, bro. He never used to like pull out of a challenge, and that's what I love. So yeah, it's my man. Always support him. Vieira.
And over to Liam, my United brother, sporting the away kit, lovely kit over there. I can't really say the Arsenal kit's lovely, but that was a classic throwback there from
It's already
Justin.
2v1 here.
So Liam, my bro, why do you support the team that you do, which is Man United?
I'll first say, as a kit collector, I will give a shout out to Justin. That is a nice Arsenal kit.
Got the
I
champions
respect
on
it.
here as well.
I Yeah. Okay. That's enough now. That's enough now. So this is United time. So Man United's been in my life probably since the age of 10. So around 2006. So my dad's a big Man United fan, but he was never the type that like pushed it on my brother and I. All he did for us was introduce us to football. So he introduced my brother to football around the same time. He's about 3 years older than me, and my brother actually started supporting Chelsea at the time. Just that was just after Mourinho came across from Porto, and but then 3 years later, my brother joined me at United because the success was more consistent in that period of time. But after my dad introduced me to footy, there was one Sunday I remember switching on the TV, and I watched Luis Saha, Ronaldo, and Rooney tear apart Fulham as we beat them 5-1. I think the other goal was a Fulham own goal. Um, so yeah, I watched that, and from there for weeks on end, all I watched was Man United and Ronaldinho, because Ronaldinho I watched on YouTube with all those clips of him hitting the crossbar, doing the skills. Like if I could be a footballer when I was younger, I was trying to be like Ronaldinho, but if I had to measure my ability by the length of his name, we'd stop at the R. Yeah, I was nowhere close to Ronaldinho. But yeah, it was just my dad introduced me to football. He was a big United fan. He never tried to throw it on us. And then the first football match I remember watching on TV, United were just ripping.
And Liam, bro, who's your favorite like Man United player ever, bro?
Wayne Rooney, for me, he's the definition. He's the definition of Man United. A lot of people will go Vidic or Ferdinand, like, or a lot of people will go Ronaldo. A lot of people will maybe say Scholes, but for me, Wayne Rooney is just he embodied Man United.
Yeah, the heart, the tenacity, and all of that, bro. You know, all in one. That was a lovely player. So guys, obviously earlier on, about 2 hours ago, or maybe 3 hours ago, we saw our teams. So shout out to our teams for being back in the Champions League. We saw them getting drawn in the groups that they were drawn into. I'm gonna start over with Justin, bro. So Justin, I already see that you're smiling with the result of your draw. You guys drew Seville, Lens, and I forget the third team. Can you just remind us again?
PSV Eindhoven.
Yeah, PSV Eindhoven, bro. So what do you make of that group?
Honestly, I think it's a really good group for us to get out of. You know, like we definitely gonna be one or two up in there. Like I said, home fixtures I think is very favorable home fixtures for us, so we have to like make that count. There are obviously a few. You know, there's no easy away game, but I think these away games are a lot more favorable for us. Like I would have hated to go away to like an Milan or like going away like you guys. I know you have Galatasaray. Like you know, it can be a quite a like intimidating atmosphere, but I definitely think for us, like the away games are definitely gonna be beneficial a little bit to us. Seville's gonna be tough, like we know that, but if we can get there with the draw or something, I'm very happy with that. Same with PSV, you know, we played them in the Europa League last season. They've lost Xavi Simons and Gakpo, so that might be a little favorable for us, you know, going away there. So yeah, I'm very happy about it. You know, we haven't been here for a long time. I saw some fans online going crazy to this, like you can see these kids never watched the Champions League in their lives. Like they only started supporting a few years. But yeah, no, I'm very excited about our draw. I definitely think we can make a good push this season in the Champions League. Like, don't be surprised if we make it past the quarterfinals. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's where I predict us to at least go this season.
I won't lie, bro. Just as a football fan, it's good seeing Arsenal back in the biggest lights of
Thank
them
you.
all. You know, at the Emirates, bro, it's a 60,000 seater stadium. It's supposed to be playing Champions League football every season, but obviously we're in the Premier League, and you know, qualifying with Champions League is not guaranteed. But it's very lovely to see Arsenal back in the
Oh,
brightest lights. Liam,
so good.
bro, United drew Bayern, Galatasaray, and Copenhagen. What do you make of that draw, my brother?
Oh, bro, Bayern Munich. I don't know how long we can we can sit here and speak on Bayern Munich. I even said on Twitter, I said like Arsenal must stop playing this joke on us. Like we'll take Sevilla back, they can have Bayern.
Yo, dude.
I
10-2,
honestly don't
bro.
want Bayern Munich. I don't want Bayern
10-2,
Munich
bro.
at Bayern Munich in Germany. Tough to play against. Absolutely tough to play against. Bayern Munich, Old Trafford. I think we'll be geared up for that game. But it's one of those things where are we going to put in a shift against them where we're driving off the passion and not the actual performance itself, where we're only good in moments. And I think we've seen that far too often from United, and that's why I'm worried about this group because from what we've seen so far, on paper we should be advancing at least second in that group. But what we've seen so far from United is that we have to go dogfight type of performances. It's not pretty football at the moment. And in the Champions League, you only have six fixtures to deal with that. So there's not much room for error in the Champions League. And if you look at some of the trips we have to go to Denmark to play there. We have to go to Galatasaray. The hostility we can expect when we're going to Galatasaray, we'll be lucky to leave there with a point. We'll be extremely lucky
Y-
to leave there with a point, in my opinion. So on
Yeah,
paper, a lot of people will look at it easy group, but realistically, we're going to have to work hard. We're gonna have to wax up there in the midfield, and we're just gonna have to start playing some prettier football if we want to even comfortably finish second.
yeah, bro. I won't lie, bro. I'd just like to also just agree with your sentiments, bro. Like going, we already know the Allianz is, you know, it's a fortress for Bayern. Now we have to go to to Turkey, which is respectfully it's hell there. I think I've seen even Graham Souness speak about the atmosphere just anywhere in Turkey. It's just, but Galatasaray with them being the bigger side there, with those fireworks and the
Yeah, it's crazy.
music and the fan noise, it's hell. But I'm happy for that Arsenal and Man United are back in the Champions League, like I said. So yeah, let's see how we do, bro. So Justin said that Arsenal rather would don't be surprised if they make it past the quarterfinals. So I'm going to ask you now, Liam, where do you see United like at the end of it all with
I'm gonna
regards to
say this a
Champions League?
lot. I'm gonna say this a lot during the chat. My heart says same, make it past the quarterfinals, have a great run. But the little football that sits up here in the brain tells me I don't think we progress further in the quarterfinals. I think if we get to the quarterfinals, we probably have a tricky round of 16 opponents, like a very strong round of 16 opponents. And I can see us having a magical leg and scraping through, but I don't see us carrying that past the quarterfinal stage.
Okay, and also just one last question with regards to Champions League, since you guys are football fans. I'll start with Justin. Justin, when all said is done at the end of the season in May next year, who do you think the winners are going to be? Will it be Arsenal or maybe someone else? Maybe.
Ah, dude, my heart would. Oh, I would love for Arsenal, but I think it's a bit too early for us to be saying that we're gonna make the finals. I still think this team. There's a lot of like exits that need to happen, and a lot of guys still need to come in. So we're not there yet. But like I said, have a good Champions League run would be a really good like start and give these young players especially, a good platform to like go off. Personally, I think it's gonna be City. Unfortunately, I don't want to say that, but you have to think City are gonna be the favorites going in. But you never know. Madrid have that. They have that Champions League like in their pockets every year. They always have a good run. So I wouldn't be surprised if I see Madrid or something having a good run and maybe going all the way as well.
And Liam, do you also reiterate Justin's statement with our low bros, Man City, winning it again, or maybe will we see a new winner this time around?
I think the easiest option to lean towards is Manchester City. It's almost the obvious option. Just if you look at what they achieved last season and how they've improved on their squad, it's actually I almost want to cry when I see the amount of signings. Not the amount of signing. It's more the quality of signings that they make. How they improve their squad. They don't just sign depth. They sign depth that would start at the rest of the 19 other Premier League clubs, and they're busy eating the bench for most of the season. But when they need it for 20 minutes, they come on for 20 minutes, they put in the shift, and that contributes to the treble at the end of the day. So I think it's difficult not to look past Man City. I would probably say either Real Madrid or Barcelona would play them in the final. I think if Barcelona make the final against Man City, we'd probably see Barcelona edge it. But if Real Madrid somehow make the final, then I think Man City would take it.
All right, thanks, gentlemen, for the UCL sentiments and or chats. But also now we spoke just a little bit about additions and out and exits. You touched on it, Justin and Liam. So I'm gonna ask you, Liam, now. Just going into tomorrow, which is transfer deadline day, right? Um, are you happy with the business that Man United has done so far? And also, if you could rate the transfer window, if it closed today, what would you give Man United out of 10?
Stinker. Give me a stinking 5 out of 10. If the transfer window is shut today, actually, if we sign Amrabat, then it's a 5 out of 10. But if the transfer window closed today, in my opinion, yeah, 5 out of 10. It's been when we got Mountain early. Okay, in my opinion, fine signing. I didn't mind it. I didn't really like him at Chelsea. I'll be honest, we have to give him time before we judge him in our squad. And I'm not just saying give him time like he must adjust to the league. He must just adjust to his squad mates and adjust to the setup and the manager and the style. So we must give him time, but I genuinely, in my heart, I don't see it going well for the lad. I don't see him doing any better than what he did at Chelsea. But because he came in so early, I expected us to then have some early departures as well with some then early arrivals because we had to sell in order to buy. I at least wanted 90% of our squad sorted before the start of the Premier League season, just so that 90% of the squad would be familiar with the setup. If anyone comes in, it's one player. Now we're still looking to integrate. If we do sign players, we're looking to integrate 2 or 3 new players into a squad that's already struggling. It's not like there's any way for them to fit in. Then we signed Onana, of course, which I'm a big fan of. He's going to come with the error, but in my opinion, he makes up with that with his composure and his distribution. His distribution isn't only, we're not talking about the long range passing only, but just in terms of finding that tight gap between the press that we usually see. We have to rely on Martinez for that last season. Then selling Fred, in my opinion, big mistake, simply because we still have McTominay. I know a lot of you either hate Fred or you love Fred, so it's one of those things. But we still employ McTominay, and Fred was very handy for us last season. And this season, he could be a filler he could have been a filler in the Carabao Cup. Let's say Copenhagen is our last Champions League game, and we've already secured our progress. He could be one of those players that plays, because as you've seen, player plays for Man United, 5 games later they're injured. We have Varane, Shaw, Casemiro is also, I think he's one muscle away from having an injury. Rashford's injury prone. Our new striker, Højlund's injury prone. So, I mean, just to have that depth, and not only depth, we can call him quality in depth, because last season he did the job, in my opinion, when he came on, more often than not. And then Højlund, I don't want to judge him too early, because we haven't seen anything of him really, and he's coming from another league.
Potential,
but,
yeah.
Yeah, the potential's great. And if I think of the profile of the player, then I'm happy. In my opinion, if the system behind him can work, and can feed him, then I can see it going well for him. That's my hope. And that's also just based off the build of the player, the profile of the player. And just from what we've seen from few clips, we don't want to judge off too many clips. But I think it will go better for him if you compare it to Mount. Obviously, different position, but in context, I think he's a much better signing. He'll probably be our second best signing of this window. Best signing will probably have to be Onana. And then if we had to sign Amrabat tomorrow, it's good. It's just we still question the club and the process and why this has taken so long, why we take so long to offload players. I hope we've learned our lesson in not giving average players high salaries, because now we can't get rid of them.
Still suffering, yeah, with trying to sell the likes of Maguire. So yeah, I agree fully with what you said. Like, the start of our transfer window was good. We got in the guys at like the appropriate, the right time, and then now letting the exits now, they didn't happen on time. For example, we had this Maguire transfer rumor which didn't materialize. Donny van de Beek still at the club, basically on the last day of the window. We don't know what's going to happen with McTominay as well. So yeah, your statements are 100% correct. But let me move on to my homie who supports Arsenal, Justin. Justin, bro, you brought in a number of players. You broke the British transfer record until it was broken by Chelsea. What do you make of?
Like that.
Yeah, what do you make of your transfer activity?
Personally, I would give it. With Timber injured, bro, like I would have wanted to give it like a good 7.58, but I think so far it's been a good solid 7, if I'm being honest. I think we could have done a little bit better, especially with our outgoings, if I'm being honest. I think Xhaka get 22 million on a guy who's past 30. I think that was a decent deal, but personally, I would have rather have sold Partey and kept Xhaka, because I just feel that Partey is just not reliable enough. I mean, he's good for 25 games a season, but you got to play 38. He gets injury prone all the time. And Xhaka was someone who plays 38 games straight in a season, consistent. He's good in the first and second phase of build up. And I think he would have been a lot better option to keep on for literally one more year, and then you can get rid of him. I think Rice is definitely a top signing. I've seen enough of him already in a new team, and I think he's been brilliant. I mean, if you look at the way we started this season, personally, I think we started a lot better than we did last season. I saw some stats also, in terms of how much possession we've had already this season compared to last season. We've controlled games a lot better. It's just down to, honestly, our finishing at times, and just defensively, we've just been giving away silly goals, in my opinion. But that's another chat that we can have. I think Kai Havertz, I think people are being a little too harsh on him. I mean, it's 3 games. Like you said, you need time to adapt. And he's not a midfielder for me. I don't think he should be playing in that left centre mid role. Personally, I think he should be an 8. I mean, it should be a 10. I mean, it should be a striker. We saw that in the Community Shield. I think that was personally his best game that he's actually had for us. He was good at holding up, makes runs in behind. You know, I just think he needs more time to adjust to the way that we play. Just like Mount as well, they just need time to adjust. It's a new system, man. Like, I mean, it must be tough playing in such a broken Chelsea team, and now you're coming to a team that can actually play a little bit of football, you know. It takes a little bit of time, you know. They need a re-education, but I haven't been too upset, honestly, about some of our signings. I just wish we had more outgoings, especially earlier on in the season, because now, you know, we're still trying to get rid of guys like Rob Holding. I mean, he had a chance to go to Turkey. It would have been fantastic for him, you know. You got guys like Nuno, who's, I mean, on the verge of hopefully going. You still got Cedric. Like, I don't know how this guy has been at this club
Oh
for
my
so
gosh,
long.
Cedric.
Bro,
Yeah.
he's in every photo as well. Like, he's in every photo. It's actually, like, so annoying, bro. Every celebration, there's bro somehow in it. Yeah, we got Cedric still there. There's still obviously a few guys. And Sambi Lakonga, I mean, I always wished he could do well, but personally, I think he also needs to bounce. But yeah, I just think 7 out of 10 for now. If we can get another defender over the line by tomorrow, I'll take it up to a 7.5 personally. But Liam, I have one question for you though. Your outgoings, who would you want out of United right now if you could get them out? I just want to know personally.
Harry Maguire, Scott
Yeah.
McTominay, Donny van der Beek, Anthony, Martial.
Yo. Nah, I agree with
I-
that. I
I-
thought I thought last year's season when you bought Anthony, I thought it was crazy for like 100 million because I mean there were guys like Diaby going for half of that. You could have got two guys for the price of Anthony and it could have solved like a striker problem for you guys last season already. I thought that was a crazy number to spend on this guy, but hey, I was called a hater online for that, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I was about to say that you are one of the biggest Anthony haters. So
I don't rate him, bro.
I'm not
He's just
I'm not shocked by these. Yeah.
No, bro, he's just yet with like some like you know fidget spinning move. Like, you know that's basically it, dude. He doesn't beat a guy 1-on-1, which you need as a winger in today's game, bro. You need to beat your 1-on-1 duels, and I don't think he physically is up to that level. You know where he should be 100 million. If you got him for like 40 million, fair enough. You know he wouldn't get as much stick, but it's a lot of money to put onto someone.
Just a question, Justin, for you.
Yeah.
Also, just on the Anthony, you know, winger with left-footed winger who cuts in. Nicola Pepe, bro, what's the latest there? Is he being reintegrated in the squad,
Nah,
or is he
dude,
gonna
he
be
has to
going
go,
to
man.
Saudi maybe?
Dude, I don't know what he's going on there. He doesn't want to go, but it's personally, like, look, I know he always tried at the team, but he's just not good enough, man. Like, you know, he just tries too much and he loses the ball way too much in our system. And that's not what we want, dude. We want this winger who's going to be able to, like, retain the ball. And, I mean, the game that, honestly, for me, ruined, like, I was so done with him was, I don't know if you ever watched it, was the quarterfinals Europa League at home against Olympiacos. He beat
yeah,
one
yeah, I
guy,
remember that game.
then he beat him again. Open, then he beat him again. Then he did it again. Bro,
Yeah,
I
and
just
he lost
threw
the ball, yeah.
I was
I
praying
remember
for
he
no
lost-
shedding. I'm like, just turn this fucking TV off, bro. I don't want to watch this
I re-
anymore.
I remember
Yeah,
he
no,
lost
it's too much.
he lost the ball after that. After all that brilliant work,
Yeah,
he just ended
dude.
up losing the ball.
And he just walked back, dude. He just literally walked back as well. And I was like, I was so done with him at that point. But, I mean, he did get a lot of hate, I thought, in the media compared to some other guys. I don't want to bring up names like Sancho and Anthony. Like, you know, Sancho took a break. He still went to go trainer for trainer, and he still came back, you know, ass. And the media don't want to say anything
We're still
about
giving
that.
that boy time. We're still giving that boy time.
Yeah. What's it, like 3 years now? How much time does he need?
Yeah, really. I think Liam will agree with me. I think if Sancho doesn't do well this season or decently well, I think he might be shipped out as well. But then again,
Yeah.
it might be that thing at Man United where we actually can't ship him out because of the wages he's on, you know, and like we might not be able to find a team that can afford, first of all, his transfer fee and just the wages. But yeah, that was just the transfer chat. I think going into deadline day, I think we might see Man United. I know we're getting a goalkeeper, and maybe two. I don't know, maybe one more addition with Amrabat. Let's see how it goes. And the left back. I wanted to ask you, just the last transfer question. Just one pick: Cucurella, Region, okay, and Tagliafico. Who would you choose there, Liam?
Throwing Tagliafico in there is a little bit of a spanner because we know who our manager would choose if those three were available. He'd choose the guy he coached before. It's a tough one, and the timeline has been trying to convince me as to why Cucurella will be a good fit, and I've seen the light, and I wouldn't have minded a Cucurella. I know now the deal's not going to happen because Chelsea want too much for the loan fee. I see now we in for Reguilon. I probably out of the three probably would have gone for Cucurella. I think Tagliafico is a nice profile, but we don't know what he can do in the Premier League. It's a different ball game. It's a different story. We see that you have two good games and you're the best left back in the Premier League. You have one stinker after that, and the media will never say your name again unless they're slandering you. Or if you in public and you cross the road when you weren't meant to, the media is going to be there because you had a bad game yesterday. That's how the Premier League is. So,
Justin, you guys loaned out Tierney too early, bro. We would have done with him right now,
Oh, no.
But
we could have had him.
Yeah, we could have had
Never
Tierney
giving to a
now,
rival, bro. I'll never accept giving it to a rival ever. Dude, you can't do that in the Prem. I'm sorry, bro.
But like Van Persie.
Yo, dude, I'm starting to like you, Liam, bro.
Let me start with Liam because Liam, you are higher up on the table right now. So what do you make, bro? You touched on it a little bit, but what do you make of Arsenal's season having played Nottingham Forest, then you played Crystal Palace away from home, and then back home you drew against Fulham?
Hey, you said Liam, but now you're actually asking Justin.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I mean Justin. Sorry, bro. Yeah. Justin should have heard me out when I was...
Bro,
yeah,
I was
sorry
gonna
about that,
go
bro.
hard, bro. I was gonna go hard on your results.
Yeah.
Is there a table I don't know of that we are above?
Yeah, I'm like,
Sorry
I was
about-
thinking,
sorry-
I'm like, wait, we got 7, bro. What you mean? You guys are above
Sorry
us.
about that. Yeah, you ahead of us. You're ahead of us, Justin. So yeah,
Okay.
over to you, bro.
Honestly, I think we can see Arteta is trying a lot, like experimenting a lot with the team at the moment. I mean, my fantasy league is taking a hit by it, to be honest. Him and Pep have ruined my fantasy. But in terms of that, I can see he is trying things, and I understand, against Nottingham at home, it's a game you can kind of try it, but it is getting to a point where, I think we should go back to what we're familiar with. But I also understand if you have Thomas on the right inverting it, you can't have Gabriel playing on as the left centre back. It doesn't work in that situation because what basically happens is that we're going to shift, and Gabby's going to be the main. He's going to be the centre back, and he's not the guy to be playing in that position. Saliba has to be playing as the centre back in that position. But when Zinni's there, it's perfect because he tucks in, he can cover wide and stuff like that. So I understand why they haven't been playing it like that. But in terms of, I was saying earlier, I think in terms of controlling the game, we've controlled it a lot better. I think going forward, keeping in the mid, we have a lot higher percentage in terms of possession. We're entering into the final third a lot more. I just think the only issue with us is that defensively on the break, we give away silly goals. Like, I don't know if you watched the Fulham game, for instance. First goal, I mean, I blame Thomas Partey for that. He just stepped up completely, left a massive gap there. Saka made the right choice to give it back there. So for me, that's annoying. We gave them that goal. And then, I mean, we could have cleaned that game out, if I'm being honest. We should have finished that game off before it even got to that point. So that's a bit frustrating. I thought against Crystal Palace away, I thought, we created a lot of chances for ourselves, especially in that first half. And then second half, we controlled it. But then obviously we saw that are we going to agree that was a controversial call? Like that red card? Like,
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was definitely a harsh one. And I think that obviously changed the whole game, playing away Crystal Palace, 10 men. It's never going to be easy, but I'm happy that the boys showed a bit of kahunas. So it was a good result to get there. Nottingham Forest, I think we could have cleaned them out earlier, and then obviously we just made it a bit nervy towards the end, and that's one thing that it does frustrate me a little bit, because when we up and we're beating a team and they have to chase, I feel like we give them a little too much more respect. Like Fulham, for instance, with 10 men, and they were a goal down. And I don't even think we could pass, like, make 3 or 4 passes to each other. We just kept giving it away, and we allowed them back in the game. So things like that, need to get better. But it's okay because it's still the beginning of the season. It's not that hectic
Three
in that
games in,
sense.
yeah.
It's only 3 games in, and I think a lot of fans, especially online, are like losing their heads a bit too early. I mean, bro, Arsenal fans have never been in this position for a long time, so like they're not obviously, we're not used to this. We're not used to being here, so these guys are already losing it. I don't know how they're gonna survive the whole season. If I'm gonna be honest, if we're
Justin,
gonna act
bro,
like this.
correct me if I'm wrong, Justin, bro. Like,
Yeah,
but like what you say about your fan base is that there seems to be this fixation with winning the title right now, obviously with the way you guys
yeah.
like didn't win it last season, right? And it's like, oh my gosh, we can't draw points like this because of Man City, But bro, let's just relax, We only 3 games into it, like you said. So I agree with you fully, bro, on those statements that you just said now,
Honestly, like I think also, like, going back to last season, I know people are gonna say we bottled that, and we did at a point. Like, I'm not gonna lie,
You
we
did
did let
though,
it
you did.
slip. We did let it slip. That's a fact, dude. But there's a lot of like variables. Like, we're still a young team. They've never been. I know I'm gonna make excuses, but I think a lot of people never even had us even making
You
it
have you
close
have
to that. So I think there's still a lot to build on from that. You know what I mean? I think we learned a lot more from that, being in that position. So you only hope they're going to keep competing and being up there. In terms of like winning the league, everyone's going to say City. We have to, I'm not going to lie, we have to be challenging. Like, that is the goal. We have to be up there. I think if we can be up there, make a good run in the Champions League and, win a cup or something, I'll take that as a very good season to grow on and go forward with that. So, yeah, there's still a lot more to come. But yeah, hopefully we can keep this momentum and get a nice win against you guys this weekend.
yeah, at the Emirates. And
Hey, bro,
over
you
to you,
gotta
Liam.
be impartial, bro.
Yeah. I'm impartial. I'm impartial. Give
Yeah,
me that
bro.
right
Okay.
now. I'm very neutral right now.
Yeah, I
I'm
need that,
very
bro.
neutral right now. So Liam, bro, you saw us like scrape a win against Wolves on a Monday night, and then we went to Spurs. We lost 2-0, and then we beat Crystal Palace, having come back from 2 goals down. What do
Forest.
you make of sorry, Forest, yeah. What do you make of our start of the season so far, bro? Is it alarm bells or just nah? Let's just calm down for a little bit.
I just want to say just now I laughed because you said Arsenal bottled it and then you drank. I don't know if you did it intentionally, but you drank out of a bottle of water. I don't know if you noticed that you did that, but that's why I was laughing just now. Um,
Oh,
for
bro, come
me,
on.
for me, it's alarm bells, but it's the first alarm that you snooze in the morning. It's not the most important one. I think the most important one is that last one that you actually label and you say, okay, you have to get out of bed now. That's big alarm bells. I think we're still at that first alarm bell, the one that you first snooze in the morning, where we're not playing good football. If I'll be honest, if I use that little ball here inside my head, we probably deserve 2 points from the first game. We should have drawn to Wolves. Wolves were unlucky against us. And Nottingham Forest going 2-0 down in the first 5 minutes. I mean, we could have easily also tied that game. They also then had more chances afterwards. Against Spurs, we didn't deserve anything, in my opinion. Um, so, in my opinion, we're lucky to have 6 points. But it's nice to see that we can. Well, not nice, but ideally we'd like to play better. But it's good to know that we can still dig in and get the three
Mm.
points. Like, fight strong. Like when the goal went in against Wolves, I kind of had to sit closer to my screen. You see Varane celebrating. That's obviously the determination to send the centre back forward to try and assist there. And then it's funny how it just looks like it almost looks like the guys don't train together at sometimes. Sometimes that's how bad it looks on the field. Um, I think that can be fixed, and I think it's going to be fixed. That's why I don't think the season's going to be a disaster. It's just frustrating and it's disheartening because we saw better progress than this last year. We started off poorly
Mm.
last year, but I'm saying the good we saw from Ten Hag wasn't like glimpses of good. It wasn't based off like passion. It was good system football. You could see the players knew their roles, and we were actually cooking at a certain point, and we were playing extremely good ball. And I didn't expect us to play like this at this current stage. So for me, it can't be too terrible because we have the 6 points out of the 9. And I do think it's going to get better. Do I think it's going to get better immediately? Not really, because we do play Arsenal next, and it's a tough game. I'll
The
have to give
Emirates, bro.
them, yeah, I'll have to give them respect, and I'll have to give them their credit. It's a tough game, but then again, last season we didn't have the best of starts, and I mean the 100 million winger on the right, who's a big waste of money, ended up getting us the 3 points. So yeah, but I'm just saying,
Ooh.
so far beginning of the season, I think Bruno has been our best player, but I don't see
Mhm.
him. I don't see him being able to do this for an entire season. He's gonna burn out. He can't drag us through the mud for an entire season. He's going to stress himself out, because you can just see when the team's not doing well, he's not playing well, then the referee's obviously not being good enough, the linesman's not being good enough, everything's not good enough, the grass isn't good enough, and you can see that guy just, if the final whistle doesn't go, the man's going to implode. So I really do hope that we fix our mess around him, especially directly behind him. Casemiro's not having the best season off the ball. He's getting caught out of position. He's advancing way too high up the field, in my opinion. I know he loves to get involved, but for me, if it's not a set piece, he shouldn't be getting that high up the field contributing. So we look disjointed at the moment. Our defense can't settle because of injuries, and we have to now rotate. We have to play Dallo at left back. But I don't think it's a train smash. I genuinely think that we can recover. Will we start this weekend? I don't know. But again, in recent times, we have enjoyed trips to the Emirates, not directly recent, when we employed Jesse Lingard and they used to hire him to perform for 2 hours
The
on a
dance
Saturday
floor.
or Sunday on the dance floor, the fake Michael Jackson. But yeah, it's a average start to the season. Could have been worse, but I do think we'll fix it.
Yeah. I also like to, yeah, what you said there was very true, bro. Like last season, bro, we started off crap, So I mean, as
Mm.
United fans, we kind of can't be too like sad about our start to the season. I mean, it's 6 points, like you said, bro. Gentlemen, I think we've been, or well, my guest today. You guys have been too sweet to each other. I think now we get into the part where it's going to get a bit contentious, a little bit spicy, a little bit tricky. This is the combined 11 time. For the watchers, I would like to also state that we're not putting any injured players into this 11. So Varane won't be making it. Luke Shaw won't be making it. Timber won't be making it. Gabriel might be a late fitness test, so he can make it. Justin, he can make it. But let's start with the goalkeeper position, gentlemen. So we've got, I think, the two obvious choices. Justin, you're speaking about squad depth with Raya, but I think we're gonna go with Ramsdale and Onana. I'm gonna ask you your pick, Justin. Who do you have
Uh,
as starting keeper?
I'm going for the PFA goalkeeper of the year, and that's Ramsdale, man.
And I think the contentious choices, right, or picks. I think we're gonna leave it to a vote as well if we can't agree. And I think Liam is probably gonna choose Onana on this one, unless he shocks me.
Nah, I think first of all, Nick Pope should have been the PFA Keeper of the Year. He had a stellar season. Ramsdale had a decent season, in my opinion. Put Ramsdale in the team if you want to concede four and ask the rest of your teammates to score five. Um, I think lately we've seen a lot of inconsistency from Ramsdale. I've seen a lot of your fans. They used to praise his passing. They're starting to question his distribution. And in my opinion, there's a reason why you signed someone like David Raya now, who he's not a bench goalkeeper. He's good enough to start in the Premier League. So if Ramsdale was so clear as we are speaking of him as the PFA Player of the Year, if he's so clear, then I didn't think you guys would need Raya to provide some competition and to provide that push. I'm gonna go with the man who played in the Champions League final last season, Onana.
Okay, I'm not gonna choose anyone. So okay, already that's contentious. We're gonna leave that to a vote. Onana, Ramsdale. Okay, we undecided on that one. Um, so Justin going into the right back position. I don't know whether you want to count Partey as the right back for this
No,
game, or you
I'm
want to
not
go with.
doing that.
Okay,
I'm
you're gonna go for
going Benjamin White as my
Ben.
right back.
Okay, so it's Ben White versus Wan-Bissaka, right?
Oh, we
Liam,
already
now it's
know
up to
this.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, if you go back to my tweets from beginning of last season, you wouldn't think I'm gonna vote for Wan-Bissaka. But just because the man has literally, he's gone about his own business. He hasn't complained to anyone about anything. He's literally kept his mouth quiet and he has just worked. And not only that, this isn't like a charity thing now because he's worked hard. I want to put him in. He's playing well. He's playing good football. He's improving going forward. He can still improve a lot going forward. But defensively, you do not get a better right back in the league than Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
I can agree with you when you say defensively, but I think all round as a package, I'm gonna have to give it to Benjamin White.
Benjamin is
as a
just, I mean,
package. Yeah,
he got 7 goals and assists last season. I mean, he can play centre back, he can play right back. It just shows how versatile he is. Also, he played the whole season. He played like 37 games non-stop. He played cup games, you know. I think Wan-Bissaka, how many games did he honestly play last season? Like, he's pulling up Reece James.
He played more than Dallo. He played more than Dallo.
Okay. But I mean, the fact is that Benjamin played throughout the season, you know.
Yeah,
but
I'm not
I
arguing
think-
it. I'm agreeing.
yeah. I think with us as Man United, we don't know who else. Like if it's a fully fit team, right? I still think there's still question marks with who's our starting right back. If we being 100% honest, you know. And also, like you said, 1v1 defending. I think there's no one for Wan-Bissaka, but the level of defending between Ben White and Wan-Bissaka, it really isn't that different, honestly. I really can speak highly of Ben White. So I think can we agree to put Ben White as a right back?
Ben White.
All right.
So we've got 2
And
Arsenal
then-
players. We've agreed on that. Perfect. On
No.
Ramsdale and Ben White.
The
I don't know.
yeah. The goalkeeper is still a one for contention. And then centre back, right? So for this one, we have Leslie Lindelof for Man United because Varane's injured, and then I guess it will be Saliba, hey?
Do we really
is it
need to
Saliba?
ask this question, man? Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah.
Nah,
Are you
Saliba-
conceding?
Yeah,
Our season
for me, I'll go
fumbled when he was
Saliba
gone.
Martinez.
Yeah. Okay. So now the next one, the left sided centre back, will be the butcher, Lisandro, and Gabriel, the guy that was linked to a move to Saudi, and who's currently benching right now, might I add. So who are you choosing there, Justin?
It is controversial, but I'm not going to go with Martinez at centre back. I'm going to choose Gabriel because he was massive for us last season. No, wait. You're going to hear how the team plays out for me. But Gabriel, for me, at centre back, he's making the Brazil squad as well. He had a good season last season. I'm not going to act like he wasn't good last season. So, for me, he was massive in our title charge, especially on away days. I mean, that guy turns up on an away day for us. So, I'm definitely giving him into that position. I think he's grown a lot there. But, yeah, I'm going Gabriel for centre back there.
Okay, and Liam said the butcher already, but Justin, bro, when are you gonna give us a piece, bro? Like, just let us hold one.
Wait,
you
bro.
know?
I'm
but
telling you. Don't worry, bro.
You know, I'm not. I don't want to be. I don't know. I don't want to put my United beanie on, but because I want to be neutral as. I just want to
No.
ask, when are we gonna hold?
Trust me, I
in-
did put you guys in my team. Don't worry, I did. I didn't do you dirty
Okay,
like that.
can we negotiate on this one, Justin, and say because the left back one, right, is probably I think Zinchenko, right,
Yeah,
and
Zinchenko.
Dallo.
I'd say Zinchenko
Yeah.
from the back.
So can we give you Zinchenko for you to say Martinez, or are you still
I
fighting it?
actually listen. This might be weird, but I personally would put Lisandro Martinez at left back. Like I think him as a left back, and especially inverting, I think he would bang in that position. Honestly, like I really think
Okay,
he would
we've
do really well
we
there.
we haven't seen him play in that position at Man United. But for the sake of this combined 11, you know, because we're not really sure of Dallo versus Saka. Liam, what do you say? Do you want to put Lisandro there, or you like nah?
Just think of him, bro, tucking in there. It would be so nice.
Nah,
Tuck him in
I
there.
say we put Zinchenko at left back and we put Martinez at left centre back. All I
Okay.
want Gabriel to put his I want Gabriel to put his World Cup medal on the table. He can't. Yes, he had a good season for Arsenal.
And
there's a difference between you said Gabriel. He's just been called up to the Brazil squad. Well done.
But there was issues though, bro. Now
Martinez
there
has
was a
won the
lot of
World
drama
Cup
there.
with the Argentine squad.
Hey, but
And
did he start though?
Gabriel needs to
Was he
put
the
the
starting centre back though? Ask me that. Was he
no
the
no
starting
no.
centre
Hold
back
on.
for Argentina?
No,
But
but if
Justin-
it wasn't for his tackle, if it wasn't for his tackle in the group stages where he blocked the shot, I think I can't remember exactly who it was against, but he blocked someone's shot in the
It
group
was
stages.
against, I think,
They would
was
have
it
drawn that
Netherlands?
game, and there was a good chance that they wouldn't have made it through from there. So he was very key. And then he might not start for Argentina, but he did score a header against Arsenal. So I mean,
And then we beat you 3-2
and-
that game, bro. So what's the chat
hold-
there?
it's a personal thing.
Okay, I'll
But-
give you. Okay, you know what?
but-
I'll give it. I'll give you that. I personally would love him at left
Okay.
back, but I'll put him as my left centre back, and then you give me Zinni on the left back. I'll agree to that.
All right.
Okay.
So it's the back four is Ben White, it's Saliba, the Butcher,
Yeah.
and Zinchenko.
The Cape
All right,
Butcher,
cool.
bro.
The
The
goalkeeper's
fish butcher there.
the goalkeeper's contentious. So Justin, bro, this one, the number 6 position, or the defensive midfielder position, right? We have Casemiro for us, right? As United fans, and I think he's the only one that we can actually put out for a combined 11 with Arsenal. But you have Thomas Partey in this position, and you have Declan Rice. So which one are you going to go with here? And the other one maybe we can put as the 8 as well. But which one for this position are you going to go with?
Personally, like, I think you guys can say I'm biasing, but I'm choosing Rice in this position.
But you are biased though.
I am biased, but you know what? I'm putting Rice in this position. Personally, look, this is my thing about Casemiro. I think he's an unbelievable player, but I don't think he's a 6. He can't be the lone guy to sit there. I think where you should play it is with a double pivot for sure with him. But as a 6, there's a lot of ground to be catching up. I don't think he has the legs for it as much anymore because he's going past City at this point. He's going to physically go down a bit. And I just think he would do a lot better if he's pushed up a little bit higher on the pitch. And I think Declan's a lot more composed. And we saw what he did for West Ham. Like, if I'm being honest, like, he carried West Ham a lot throughout that season last year. And yeah, I think he's, what I've seen already from this season, like, he's adapted so nicely into that position already. So I'm going Declan because, I mean, can cover a massive amount of space. I mean, the way that guy runs, he just glides along the field. Great tackling, great on the ball as well. He's like really complete, I've been surprised, dude. I didn't think English players could have this much sauce, dude. Like, I only thought guys from South London, had this, bro, but he's proving me wrong.
So Liam, you're saying Casemiro in that position, or you saying Deckers?
I'm saying if Declan Rice wasn't English, you guys would have signed him for like £35 million from somewhere, and he would not be in this conversation at all. I agree with you in terms of Casemiro and his legs and his age, etc. But I disagree with you in terms of the role. I think he should be playing as a lone 6. What we've just seen at Man United is that he's advanced way too high up on the field, and he can't get back. So in United, if you want to play ahead of the 6th position, you need to be able to get up and down on the field. Every single game that we've played so far, they've highlighted Casemiro getting into a forward position. He ends up in the opposition box, and he gets back down the field 10 minutes later. We saw the one where I think Forest were counter-attacking. Casemiro was running with his man. He stopped running. He watched his man, and then he did a half jog after him. So, in my opinion, he can't get forward. He shouldn't be getting forward. He does need to sit and play deeper and dictate, and that's what he was doing for most of last season. But for some reason this season, I've just seen him move higher up on the field. And that's why as soon as teams hit us on the counter and as soon as they start transitioning, we don't have a midfield. So I would rather have Casemiro there, in my opinion. I didn't think I'd ever live in a world where someone would suggest Declan Rice over Carlos Casemiro in the midfield. Some say Mitch is busy turning in the southern suburbs right now. But yeah, I'm going over with Casemiro.
Are we going current
Okay,
form
so
though? That's my thing though. It's current form right now. I think it's hard. I think especially that Wolves game, you guys were completely open.
But
it's
Justin,
also
bro,
down to
you
the
just
part
but Justin, bro, you spoke.
You
just spoke at West Ham. Yeah,
Okay.
You just spoke at
but,
West Ham. Yeah.
but it's still carried
and
on
Gabriel
though.
hasn't played yet this
That's
season.
true. I'm going.
But you wanted to put him.
I still, I just love him, man. He's got great teeth as well. So I just thought good smile in the team. You got to have that. But honestly, I
Nah.
think Rice, honestly, from watching, especially this season now, I mean, like I said, United have been really open in the midfield. I mean, how many shots did Wolves have against you guys? Like up to like what 20? They were like they were going crazy
Okay,
at you
okay,
guys.
Yeah, but
I can,
Casemiro was out of position. That's
But
why.
that's
yeah,
the
I
thing. If you're
okay.
gonna be six, you got to have that discipline to be there. Do you know what I mean? If we're chatting, he needs
But
to
if the
be
manager tells
disciplined
him to
there.
get forward, that's not his fault. That's not his fault if the
Okay,
manager tells him to get
gentlemen,
forward.
gentlemen, I can already see that we're not going to agree on this one, right? So I think this one will also be the one we put to a vote, whether
Okay.
it's Declan Rice and over Casemiro or Casemiro over Declan Rice, right? So now who partners the six now? Justin, I think on yours, maybe we can put Partey there,
Nah,
or
I'm
Havertz,
choosing.
or
I'm
Havertz.
choosing Bruno. I'm choosing Bruno up there on the one side.
Okay. All right. Okay. 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 So Liam, then if he gives you Bruno, right, in the
Hmm.
eighth position, and Bruno can play there, right? I don't think you're gonna choose Ericsson then if he just said he's gonna give you Bruno. Are you gonna give him Odegaard for the most advanced midfielder position?
Yeah, yeah, I would have been happy with no matter how we put it, I would have been happy with Rice holding with an Odegaard and Bruno in front of him, or I would have been happy with Rice and Bruno next to each other with Odegaard in front of them. I mean, sorry, not Rice, Casemiro.
Casemiro.
Sorry, never Declan
There we
Rice.
go. There we go.
Uh-huh.
You
So
said it there.
sorry.
To the people watching,
Yeah,
we
never
already got our
Declan,
answer there.
never Declan Rice. So
Oh,
so yeah, I would say Casemiro and then Bruno and Odegaard as the other two midfielders.
okay, okay. So then we have the lone six and two midfielders in front of them. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's go to I think yeah the left sided no the number seven the right sided winger position Anthony or Sancho up against Saka. So
It's an
Starboy.
easy one. I have to
Starboy.
concede. I have to concede. I have to concede. I
Starboy.
love Bukayo
Thank
Saka.
you.
You can't hate
yeah
him.
the
Best
young player of
best right
the
winger
young
in the
player of
world.
the year the
Yeah.
young player of the
Although
year. Okay
I put
now
Salah above
okay
him right now, but he's definitely passing
Okay,
that
yeah,
torch
fair.
over
My
to
bad.
him. He's definitely gonna pass it
Forgot
over
Salah
soon.
exists.
all right and then and then okay let's go to yeah I think this one also going to be contentious so let's not speak on that right now. Let's go to the striker. Ish. So we have, I guess, Martial who started the last game. We have Nketiah
I'm
and
choosing
Gabriel
Eddie, man.
Jesus and Højlund, who's gonna make the squad. Who's gonna make the squad as I guess in the bench. So you're choosing Eddie, right?
I think
Liam, who
Eddie
you gonna
deserves
go
a
with?
shout.
Yeah, I can't lie. I'm just looking at my screen in front of me. I've got Nketiah, yeah, because but like the thing is, I don't like. I like Eddie. I like his profile. I like what he does on the field, how he moves around. I like that little patch of form he had, and they were calling him the next Henry. I love Arsenal fans. They're so cute. But
Don't know
just
what Arsenal fans you
for me it's
acting
Eddie.
into.
For me, it's Eddie based off who's available. Very
Yeah,
simple.
it's availability, and I think yeah, as United fans, we can't even rely on Martial, just even when he's fit, you know. We haven't.
Yeah,
When was the last time we've seen him like on a good run of 10 games? Yeah, so yeah,
exactly.
we're gonna give you that one.
Also,
But this
Eddie,
one,
shout out to him.
yeah,
Got a World Cup. He just got called up to the England squad now. So I think shout out to
sh
him for that.
shout
For
out to
that.
him. Yeah, shout
You
out to
know,
him.
he never picks anyone, Gareth Southgate. So the fact that he chose him, he must really have done something, you know. So
Hmm.
yeah, I agree with
And I
that.
must I must say with Nketiah, bro, like
He's working
when you
hard,
start,
bro.
yeah, he's working hard, and his movement now is next to nothing, bro. So
Yeah.
shout out to him on that.
And he's physically,
Um,
gotten bigger, you know. So he's starting to
yeah.
hold off guys. It's nice to see him develop. But now he has to hit the ground running. He's like 24 now. It's that time, prime years now. So let's see what he can do.
So now it's gonna be the debate around is it gonna be Gabriel Martinelli, Marcus Rashford, or maybe Trossard, you know? So which one do we take there, bros?
I'm
Liam,
going.
you
Do
start off.
you want to
Wait,
go now,
let's
or do
hit
you want
this
me to go?
this yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
go.
anyone can take it.
I'm gonna go Marcus Rashford, as my left wing.
Mm,
I think, I think honestly, dude, when I look at Rashford's profile, to me, he's like the closest thing in terms of like the English Mbappe, in terms of the same kind of players, take on you left, right, don't know. And I mean, one thing about Marcus Rashford, bro, he don't even need much of like a pullback on that foot when he hits it, bro. He can have a low pullback. That shot power is like next to nothing.
You've seen it last season at the
Oh no,
Emirates.
dude. I've always seen it, bro. When he hit that free kick against Chelsea, bro, like I was like, "Are you nuts, dude?" And you know what? He always scores against Arsenal anyway. But no, I think Gabby, you know, he had a good season last season, and he had a few good seasons, but also injuries. He's still very young. I can't put him over Marcus. You know, I just think Rashford's just been a bit unlucky in terms of like the political side of what's happening with United. You know, he's had so many managers. He's never had a proper like development that he should have definitely gotten. You know, but I think Marcus Rashford is unreal, dude. I remember we were linked with him a while ago. I would have taken him in a heartbeat. But yeah, no, Marcus is definitely going to be my left winger.
Hey, Liam, I'm surprised. I thought this man was gonna be fighting you over this one. So
No,
I'm just
I'll give it,
flabbergasted.
bro. I know ball, bro. That's the thing. You know, ball don't lie.
Nah. Shout out, bro. Shout
And
out.
I thought it was going to be a tough fight. I'll be honest, because it's almost difficult, as you say. You can see he knows ball, because if I had to sit here now, if we had to sit with someone who didn't know ball, he would be using like internet memes now as references as to for like Rashford's poor form. Where the man, as you said, now he's been playing with so many different managers. The squads around him have changed. United's been going through a tough period, and he's been there through that tough period. He's been playing as a striker. He's been playing as a left wing. Sometimes we even saw him on the right when I think Ole used to love rotating the front three, just like they could come and go as they please. But we've seen it when he goes out on the left. He's one of the best left-sided players in the league. He's extremely good. He's so used to that certain area of space. He's so used to that channel where he can take on. He knows the angles. He knows the area of the pitch. He knows how to cut in. He has the ability to go left foot, right foot. The skills that he has, you can't assume where he's going to go. So there's a player there, but it's also a player that we have started getting frustrated with. But I do think that's unfair on him. I do think we over rely on him when he's up front. A lot of people say he's not good enough, but when he's there, we still expect him to do well. If someone's not good enough, you can't expect them to do well. So I prefer him out on the left, and I'm very happy that he makes the starting lineup. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
definitely.
and
He
I
just
must say
needs a
shout
proper
out.
target man there.
I must say shout out to you, Justin, as well, because I mean, like you know, sometimes when you support your team on certain things, and just saying nah, Rashford is the guy for this position. Because Martinelli, bro, if you count goals and assists last
Yeah.
season, he had a brilliant season, you know. And some
Yeah,
Arsenal
he
fans
did.
will they'll fight tooth and nail for this one. But like, shout out to you, like I said, bro.
No, it's
Um,
factually he had one good season. Other season, I mean, had a lot of injuries. Rashford's been doing it for like since he was like 19, if I'm being honest with you. So he definitely deserves all that respect. I mean, that Ole season, he got like 17 goals. Last season, obviously, I mean, the season before, it wasn't the best because you guys obviously had like
yeah, that
just going
was
through a
yeah,
lot
a
at that
terrible
point with
season.
Ralph.
Yeah.
It was just, you know, that's just a write-off, dude. That season just a write-off at the end of the day. But nah, he's always been consistent. Like I said, I don't think he should be your centre forward. I always think he's the best on the left coming in. I mean, we saw that at the World Cup for England, where him and Kane and Saka as that front three were like, it was
Unreal.
scary, eh? It was scary,
Yeah.
dude. They could have won the World Cup if I'm being completely. They
That
had a
that
good
that
chance of going all the way. To be
that
honest
should
with
have been
you,
the Man United front three, to be honest.
Saka will never go to that club, bro.
Yeah,
But United fans are also City fans these days, anyway. So I mean, you know.
What? Oh no, bro. Like I don't know. My sentiments on whoever wins the title. If it's not Man United, then it can't be
Yeah,
Arsenal. It can't be Liverpool. It can't be Chelsea. Then give it to
Yeah.
the low bros.
yeah.
You
I
know?
was always like that, dude. If United win the title, bro, on Twitter, I think I'm taking a break for like a good year, bro. I'm not coming back on there for like a long time. I could not deal
Yeah,
with it.
yeah. I know. I think for me, I don't like Arsenal. So like, if you guys had won the league, I don't know how I'd have taken it, bro.
Oh, dude, I
But
would have been annoying as fuck. So just be prepared for that, you know. I'm gonna spam
just
if we win it.
just to close it off, you know, I'm gonna want your game predictions. You know, Liam, going into this game, it hasn't been the friendliest of fixtures or the nicest of fixtures to Man United. I think the last time you won there was like in the FA Cup game when Oli was the manager there. Yeah, I think that was the
Yeah.
last
We
time you
came
won.
out.
Yeah, we knocked them out. I think they were sporting a navy with gold numbers kit. That was the last time we won there. Not too sure about the league. I think the league's longer than that.
Yeah.
So, when we think of all this, right? What do you think the score predictions will be? The home team always tends to win in this fixture. But
Yeah.
but going into the Emirates, what do you think? Yeah, that's gonna play a part in it, or you like, I'm gonna listen to my heart here.
I'll tell you what my heart and my brain says, but I'll start with my heart. My heart says we win 2-1. I don't think a team keeps a clean sheet in this fixture. Any team. I think there's always going to be goals, and my heart says that Bruno Fernandes just drags us again through the mud. Comes out with a dirty, scrappy win, but again, I'll say it for the last time, the little ball that's sitting here inside my brain, I can see Odegaard running the show. I can see Saka being unplayable. And when those two get firing, I mean, you're looking at your two most consistent players, not only in Arsenal, but in the Premier League for the past almost 2 seasons now, or season and a half. I think when those two are on top at a firing Emirates, it is extremely difficult to play against them. And with the current United team, as soon as one thing during the game doesn't go their way, they really do struggle to recover. Their heads go, their mentality is not fully there yet. So, realistic prediction, I never knew I'd get to this point in my life, but I say Arsenal will probably take the game 3-1.
Justin, over to you, bro.
Said it right there. I was gonna say 3-1, exactly that. I think we always concede at home. Like I said, I think Marcus is gonna score a goal. Like he loves to score a goal against us. But I think we are definitely gonna pull this one out 3-1. If it's a lovely day in London, Odegaard's gonna be balling out on the carpet. Anything when it's raining and not, his performance drops a bit. But yeah, I think you guys obviously have some injuries as well, especially at the left back position right now. I think we can definitely exploit that with Saka, and I think they're going to play Ben White on the right, so I think that will be a position. And with Odegaard right there, they're going to exploit that side, especially with that. So yeah, I think 3-1. As long as we control and boss the midfield, then I think it's definitely going to be our game for sure. But hey, it's football, dude. Anthony Taylor's the ref, so you never know what's going to happen either.
And
I just want to
gentlemen,
say one more thing.
yeah.
Sorry, I just want to say one more thing. If
Yeah.
we're thinking potential team sheets, I think a small or like a low-key benefit to the game on Sunday is that if United decide to start with Alvaro Fernandez at left back, it's a player that Saka is not familiar with. Now,
Doesn't know.
do I think that Fernandez has the capabilities of dealing with Saka? I genuinely don't think so. But we've seen Saka get the best of Luke Shaw. He knows Luke Shaw in and out, like the back of his hand. He's played against him a couple of times. They play in England together. Obviously, during training, they would then train together because that's Shaw's defensive area, Saka's attacking area. So I think a small benefit could be if we have the unknown chilling there at left back. But I'm not saying that would make us win or anything. I'm just saying that could be a small factor. If Saka has an off game, that's one less player we have to deal about. Now we can just try focus on Odegaard. But again, if Odegaard's having a good game, doesn't matter who around him is playing poorly.
Yeah, I definitely think that on our side, especially on the left, I think we're lacking a lot of creativity. A lot of our best moments are coming on that right-hand side. So like I said, if you lock him up on the right, we look a bit dead on the left. Not having Xhaka in that position definitely has affected us a lot, and also Zinni. So, and Martinelli gets very isolated. I mean, guys are just putting a 3-on-1 on him all the time. So if you take Saka out the game on that side, I think it could be a lot more cagier than we'd like. But hopefully Declan, my choice, bosses the midfield, and then I think the game is going to be nice and open then after that. So yeah.
You know what's crazy? I know it didn't count for anything, but there was a preseason game. I know it didn't
Come
count
on.
for anything, like I said, but like this is the one. But brothers, I think we're gonna wrap it up there. I must say, as the back three, I'm gonna say it in Xhosa, siyabulela, which means we say thank you to you guys for joining in for this preview. We didn't want to do it as ourselves, myself and Louis, as United and Arsenal fan. That's why we roped in a homie from Basingstoke in the UK and Liam over here, the United homie. So once again, homies, thank you for the chat. It was riveting and lovely. Yeah, we can have it out and just share it wherever you can. Once again, thank you to you guys. We appreciate it a lot. Siyabulela. So we
Cheers,
can
Don't
wrap
forget
it
to
up
vote
there.
for Nana.
Yeah, yeah. Cheers, gentlemen.
Bitch, I be leaning on to you. Bitch, I be leaning on to you. It's all. Bitch, I be leaning on to you. Bitch, I be, yeah. Bitch, I be leaning on to you. Bitch, I be leaning on to you.